Okay, so welcome back everyone. I believe we are back online and going again. We are indeed. I do apologise for what's just happened. Jackson's PS4 seemed to crash, and so I'm now streaming. You know, got my perspective. We should have Jackson back in just a moment. As I will invite him back, but to update you on what's happened. Jackson in the lobby. Jackson, if you're hearing this, just send me a message on Instagram if you need an invite to any parties or anything. But just to update you on where we've been. Safety car has been called out. Domi has stopped onto the hard tyres, so he's now behind Felix. Welcome back, Jackson. I'm not sure if we can hear Jackson or not at the minute, but Jackson, welcome back. Nice to hear you. Stream back up and running. We haven't missed much because literally just as the stream went down, a safety car was pulled out. I'm not sure for who.
Yeah, I rejoined it. It's all very different, but I guess nothing really has happened. Two questions: Monster P1, Domi P19.
Yeah, Domi. I think Domi made one more. I think he initially stopped onto the mediums, and then went against his word and went onto the hard tyres. I think what he wanted to do is literally just opposite Gil. But I believe that those medium tyres will make the end anyway. Safety car coming in. There's like Monster just hasn't pit yet, so don't worry. That's not a legitimate P1. He chose to stay out, which is interesting, but yeah, we're back online. We've missed a small safety car intermittence. Monster, who hasn't pit, leads the cars away back up the hill of Young Cow. What this does do is it does slash Gil's 2-second lead, so we might see if Max has a run. GFO Spanias as well did jump Dylan in the stops as he got held because his teammate pit. So Monster very slowly, very leisurely, and I believe he has absolutely floored it now. Jackson, are you back in the session?
Yes, I am. I can see that the field is back underway, and Domi will begin their charge already. Or was that Felix? It was almost spinning into turn 1, and there is someone spinning around. That's Means Virus.
I think that is Means Virus.
Contact between the two McLarens.
Oh no, the McLaren's off.
And there's Sam D now off in the background.
Got a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 2. It caused everyone to back up. I thought there was a VSC from there, but Domi keeping it clean. But yeah, back to the front. Gil leading, well, will be leading after Monster pit. They're going to stay out for. And is he doing his teammate a little job here, a little handy job?
It'd appear that way, wouldn't it? But it definitely seems to be working if that is what they're planning. Although the big issue is that as much as Monster backs them up, the fact is the only place where Max can get past is down this straight, which won't be possible if they all have DRS. So I think Monster is going to get destroyed down this straight now by Gil, who's going to know that they have to make this pass to stay in the to keep their lead.
Yeah, this is an important move.
So Monster here is managed to lead towards turn 1 here, but looks to be maybe Max Tro being a bit more conservative on their ERS deployment, maybe just waiting for these two to start battling, and then bit of a block there from Monster.
Gil's very close.
Oh, I'm watching this on board. Oh, contact! Gil is just
he gave him a slide, and we got another safety car.
And that is for Drakatos, who has gone off at turn 2. That is a unusual place to crash. Seems
like more towards turn 3. Actually, we'll see as Sam D comes out the pits. We'll ride on board with him.
I'm guessing it was sort of exit of the corner. Sort of maybe spinning up the rears of some kind.
Yeah, either way, he's found his way to the barrier. And the safety car comes out for the second time today. So just to update you guys, after you missed the first safety car period, if you didn't join us for the first part of this stream, safety car was called out. There wasn't a retirement. I'm not sure what the issue was. But thank you for joining us again on this new stream. Everyone pit, IGK Domi, I believe, pit twice. I'll find out. Actually, we'll check the race director, see if we got any incidents, because...
Monster pits. See what Monster can... What tyres... I'm sure they'll go into the softs. Actually, no, fair. Will softs be able to go to the end? It's going to be tight if they do.
Depends how long the safety car's out for. Probably.
I think they could. 16 at most around here, sort of before they really hit the cliff.
Yeah, and
before
with...
they sort of die. So I think they can do it safely without worrying about a puncture.
Yeah.
Whether it'll be whether the performance will be there, I don't know. But I think that would the two options Monster had there was soft or hards, and I think they went the right way in saying softs.
Definitely.
They may die off a bit at the end, but they won't. Especially for the restart, the soft's going to be what you want on your car.
Of course.
And still comes out in P10, so.
Yeah, it's worked quite well for Monster, that one has. I do have to say.
Monster it could end up being quite in a good position here to perhaps make a charge up the order. I'd say perhaps if these soft tyres do work and safety car is out for quite a few laps, this could turn into maybe even a podium or even fight for the win here for Monster.
Dylan's left the session. I will sort him an invite back to the session. Hopefully he can join quite quickly.
Then he spun on the restart after going up the inside, had all their brakes locked going to turn 1. Nearly spun into the front of Donny, but just about kept it in a straight line, avoiding major contact.
Jamil up in the points. Both Red Bulls actually up in the points, I have to say. 5th and 9th, so they've turned something like 14th and 17th into 5th and 9th so far. Are they on the favourable tyre? No. Are they in the points? Yes. So we'll have to see. But I expect Monster to come at some rate of knots behind Jamil in the next couple of laps.
Something that I didn't bring up in the the lag there as Warren rejoined. As all Warren rejoining, and I think that's his AI just passing cars at the moment. They're trying to let through Spaniards now.
There we go.
So that's worked. I didn't sort of flag up much in the first dip because they were so far at the points. As Luke and Nick, in their group of cars, they were very much the cork in the bottom. They were on soft tyres and they were dropping a lot of time to other soft runners. So looking at here, very much I'd say out of position and could be a bit of a cork in the bottom here, more so than we've seen other drivers. So especially when they're on the hards, so it could be very interesting here. I feel like we're going to see Luke and Nick perhaps moving backwards away from the front group and see Monster closing in. So we could end up with perhaps some sort of incident when these guys are going to have a back group of 6 cars from 5th down to 10th, all sort of moving towards each other, which could be interesting to see. It depends how Jamil's hard tyres work as the safety car is in this lap. Yeah,
we've also had Dylan leave and join. He was struggling with an FPS glitch, one of the glitches you can get when you leave and rejoin. But for the second time today, and for the second time in probably about 5 laps, we've got a safety car coming in. This time it's Gil heading the pack rather than being just behind the leader. He's going to pace the cars between now, no overtaking between or before the start-finish line. Safety car is in the pits, so it's at Gil's discretion to when he wants to go. I thought he'd bolted then, as Dylan's decided to go. He will get penalised for that, so we're going to pretend...
That's given Max the chance to lead, though.
Yeah, Max going to try one.
The move, and is going to take the lead of the race into turn 1. But Gil's going to go for some sort of switch back here. That is means virus off at turn 1.
That is one of the McLarens. Gil right on the back of Max though. Gil leading for the first portion of this race. He's going to have a go down into turn number 4. No, he's not. He stays behind. Max has that restart sorted. Couldn't quite focus on the right car then because Dylan was dropping forward and backwards. But yeah, Max leads his first. Well, Max leads a VRL race for the first time, followed by Gil. Then Spanias up in 3rd as well, looking like he's going to put some good pressure on the leaders. Warren back into 4th position now. Luke and Nick has held 5th, and you were right, Memes Virus did spin off the restart, and for a moment I thought that was Dommy's day, going from bad to absolutely terrible, but nevertheless he's still up in 4th, and there's a lot he can do in the remaining 15 laps as Gil almost pushing Max through a young cow.
Yeah, Monster here, down, already made up one position in the restart. Is at the back of this lead group at the moment, but up at the front, Gill here, not using RS on this occasion, staying behind, but look at the overspeed they have anyway.
You gonna try one down the inside, is he? No, he's not. He has a look. That may open an opportunity for Spanias, who doesn't. Sticks behind for the time being. Warren as well, waiting in the wings for an opportunity. Tim has moved past Nick Mania, who's struggling on them older, medium tyres, I should say. And on the opposite end of the scale, Monster on them fresh softs, looking as if he's making really good progress. So he's already moved past Plujable. He's now looking for a move on Nick Mania up into 8th.
I think Monster needs to make the moves fast. They can't sort of sit back and wait because the soft tyres, I mean, Monster needs to use them whilst they're in their prime condition. So you can't sort of do what Gill's doing and sort of sit back and wait because you're in a similar because you know you have the pace. Those soft tyres need to be used when they have their advantage, because let's face it, at the end of the race they're not going to be probably the best tyre to be on. So we need to make the most out of them now, and clearly you can see how much more grip they have. So I think it's just a matter of time before Monster does get past. Nick Mania was a bit of a tap there, heading through onto the main straight.
Oh, yeah, Warren's out again. Being told Monster has damage. He does have damage to the front right element at the restart, as he is going to make that move on Nick Mania. He's going to try one down the inside. Does he have the downforce to slow it down? He doesn't. There's contact.
And there's Pollution Ball involved. Pollution Ball sideways. That is going to let Jamil through.
Jamil up into 9th, maybe 8th position there, as he seems to be ghosting.
Oh, this could end badly going into here now, with them all that close going onto the straight.
Down the Retro Aposta.
And he's going to go for a double overtake. But
surely.
One of them pulled off.
Surely, how's there not carnage there? But Monster struggling with that front wing, he just couldn't slow it down.
Has left the session, I believe, again. I believe Warren has left again. I'm not seeing those messages up here on my screen, so I'm basing that off the fact Warren has dropped a few places and is ghosted.
Yeah, I did mention it just a moment ago. Warren leaving the session again. That's a shame for him. He was struggling with an FPS glitch as Domi makes a move. A beautiful move around the outside of Felix. He's up into 12th. He's got to stay clear of all this fighting, although right now he can't. He isn't able to win the championship in this position. A lot can still happen in this race. Gill currently only 2nd. Meanwhile, Plusion Bowler is pushing Jamil through Young Cow back to the front. That is Warren all the way down in 7th position. He's going to drop out the points if he isn't able to rejoin. That's Benjamin making a move now on Luke and Nick. He's up into 4th position. Good move there from Benjamin, back up into the position that he qualified. And Luke and Nick, I have to say so far, holding his own quite well on these hard tyres. It looks like he's going to come back at Benjamin down the Retro Aposta, who's going to break latest into turn number 4. The outside line doesn't hand itself to overtakes, and Benjamin shuts the door. He claims P4. Really good battling between them. It looks like the battle's going to continue up the hill. No, it's not. Benjamin does claim that position. I have to say Tim Wenting looking quite strong as well. He could be a pick for P5, maybe even P4 today, as it looks like the leaders, Nick Mania has got passed, as Matthias Gamer has left the session, as Warren does start to drop back, but the leaders, Maxro still ahead of Gill.
Yes, turning out to be a very exciting race here, not just for the top fight, but also for the battle for the final point positions here. So I think there's a couple of them with damage after that collision at turn 1, because we already knew Monster had damage. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next here. As that is on the back of Luke and Nick is Tim Wenting. But he's got absolutely no ERS, but he sends it anyway. That is like the move he put on Domi on the early stages. He turns it and spins Luke and Nick. I mean, I have to say that was a racing incident in my view.
Will certainly be a student's inquiry.
Yeah, I mean, when you're halfway alongside going into turn 2, the only way you're going to keep your car not from spinning is either by backing out or diving it by enough to get far enough alongside. So, if you look at real life occasions, it was like an Ocon Verstappen.
Yeah.
But in this case, one of them wasn't a lap down, and in this case, the car that was the diving car wasn't the one that, well, was the one that got spun, not the other car. So, I would say racing incident in my opinion. Of course, the stewards will look into that further.
I have to say, I forgot what I was going to say, but Monster dropping back with that front wing damage, clearly struggling, and yeah, not able. Felix on the edge of points again. It looks like iQuicks has gone off in the middle sector. Not really sure how you make a crash there. And another safety car.
Well, oh, the leaders, will they pick up the safety car or will they get ahead of the safety car? This is crucial now.
I think they've got ahead.
They will get ahead.
They have.
They will be ahead, so this means everyone has the opportunity to pit.
That was
Max slowing down to let the safety car back through? No.
probably just abiding by the delta.
Do some strategic move, but yeah. I believe Max there did that deliberately, sped up, went red for a bit, purely to get to this line first. Because otherwise the drivers, I mean, look at from Domi would have been the big winner from that if they had come out ahead of them. So that would have been insane to see a finale there. But now everyone gets the chance to pit again, and I assume everyone will pit onto the soft. Although I predict there'll be maybe one or two people. Maybe a Felix, maybe a Sam D, maybe a Pluton Ball who stays out just to get the track position. I just got a feeling that we might see one or two people just try it, just roll the dice like Monster did. Of course, in that case, they started on the medium, so it was too early to pit. But I've got a feeling we might see someone roll the dice here and just go, there's 10 laps left, I can hold off the cars. If I can hold off each car if I can keep each car behind me for 2 laps before they get past, I'll only lose 5 positions. If we have a safety car, that's it, it's 8 laps on the restart.
Well, Gil and Max both stay out, as does Spanias, as does Benjamin, as does Tim. That's strange because they almost had a free pit stop. Nick Mania also stays out, Plusion Ball also stays out, Felix also stays out, as does Sam D, so... not sure about that, guys. Not sure about that one.
To be fair, we look at Monster. Monster, of course, they didn't make the progress you'd expect. They had wing damage and they were still all over the back of the car in front.
I mean, as you mentioned in qualifying, Jackson, there's such a differential between the compounds of tyres here, the softs, especially fresh softs. He's going to, look at Domi, he's going to have 8 laps of pushing to his heart's content, 12 lap fresher tyres. By the end of this stint, Max Rowe, Gil, Spanius, Benjamin, Tim, Nick Mania's tyres are also all going to be 20 laps old. They're going to be they're not going to be happy. Yes, they have had 2 or 3 safety car periods, but it's not a quick revive. They're still going to struggle, and they're still going to be in the upper echelons of tyre wear. So I think we could really see a late charge from RGK Domi. The championship fight might not be over just yet, guys.
Yeah, I have a feeling now, if Domi does not get caught up in any instance here, I think the championship could go to the finale. I think that is definitely a possibility. Because, well...
We'll have to see. Domi incredibly fast.
Domi has showed the pace all season long, that they have the pace to fight for wins. Today it's just not been their day with that incident on lap 1, and then just not being able to make the progress they would have wanted to. Now they've got themselves in the perfect position here. It really does come down to the drivers in front of them and how they do it. Driver of note though, if this strategy is the better one, driver of note, TRT Kimi, F2 driver, they haven't really been, when they've reserved for F1, I mean from the races I've seen, they haven't been up fighting for the points. P12 at the moment, on the soft compound tyre, points are definitely possible in my opinion. Well,
if there's a couple of mishaps ahead of him, there's no reason Kimi can't bring some points home to his senior team. Obviously drives for Williams down in F2, done a stellar job so far this season. He's on for his best season in his VRL career, his 4-season long VRL career, I believe. Kimi been here a long time, sat in F2 and making a good job of it so far, and hopefully for his sake he can add some points to his F1 challenge for this season. But yeah, Domi, it's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. We'll have to see what the differential is, but mainly he's just got to keep it clean. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here in this. I've got to think that we could, similar to what we saw with Monster last time, we could see some sort of incident here between sort of maybe the bottom 3 on the mediums, Plusion Ball, Felix, Sam D, and Domi, Luke and Nick, and TRT Kimi. The chances of we seeing something sort of in this group of 6, maybe a dive bomb too much or something, it definitely could kick everything off, as it looks like Sejcar is staying out for another one.
Yeah, because we haven't got Matthias Gamer quite caught up yet, but yeah, IGK Domi does have 1 penalty. That's one thing I picked up on. So if we think back to last season, Tim Wentink picked up it was a 5-second time penalty after speeding the pit lane, which was under controversial circumstances itself to jump. It was VRT Luke at the time to give Felix the easy race win as he sat behind as a rear gunner. But no controversial circumstances this season so far. But we certainly have IGK Domi with a 3-second time penalty, that could really drop him. It dropped Tim last season from 2nd to 7th. With how tight this field is and how we expect the field to bunch up. But even the cars behind the top 6, you know, as I say, Domi could drop back a lot. Even the likes of Plugenbol, Felix, and probably even Sam D, they've got fresher tyres than the guys ahead of them by about 5 laps. So a little bit less for Felix and Sam, but Plugenbol as well, the freshest tyres in the top 9. So he's got a bit of a buffer in the form of Felix and Sam to IGK Domi. 5 laps isn't loads, but 5 laps is 5 laps at the end of the day. That's got to be a decent amount of percentage on the tyres. If you can keep him alive, we could have Plugenbol. I think a podium is a bit out there for him, but there's no reason why he can't make up a few places on this restart.
Of course, there's very much the chance that up at the front, look at the restart last time. Max got that massive jump on Gil and took the lead away after the Dylan had that strange incident as the safety car in his lap.
Yeah, I can just confirm. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Jackson, but I can just confirm that the first safety car was as a result of Domi, Jamil and iQuicks all came together. So that's obviously something we missed, and for a third time today, we've got a third different safety car restarter, Mr. Max.
I must say, Max's weaving is just impeccable. From literally one side of the track to the other. They're at about a 45-degree angle most of the time. Honestly, if the track was a bit wider, they'd be going sort of fully sort of side to side, like 90 degrees each way. Meanwhile, Gil behind is very much staying in a single file line.
Well, that's the... Where does he choose to go? He's gone. Much earlier than before, Gil tucked out of the slipstream. Didn't look as if Spanius was on the ball at all for that restart. Tim Wenting pressurising Benjamin down into turn number 1. He's not going to go for a move. Plugenbol, I mentioned, could be one to watch on the restart. He is. He looked down the inside of Nick Mania there. He holds his position.
Sandy's around and hits with Luke and Nick. Sandy, Luke and Nick and Domi then came together. That's got a bit of carnage there. So that's taken Monster out of the race. And that's also knocked Jamil. And yet that was a big crash there on the exit of through turn 2 and on the exit turn 1.
Did you see what happened there, Jackson?
Yes, I did. It was a repeat of what sort of happened to Luke and Nick's spin earlier in the race. It was just a simple, Domi was on the outside, just a bit of tyre rub between the two. Again, I'd say racing incident. This was just the tyre rub going through turn 2. It put Sandy sideways, which then just put him blocking the track.
And Domi's made a move on Felix. They're going to be side by side down the hill. Felix goes wide, Domi switches back underneath. It's a lovely little move from the McLaren driver. He moves up into the lead, or into 8th I should say. Talking about the lead, Maxro has opened up a really nice gap between himself and Gil. 8/10 of a second there. Covers the top 2, another second back to Spanias as half a second separates himself and Benjamin from one of his first podiums in since USA actually, so not that long ago at all. Benjamin looking for a return to the rostrum, but we're going to keep our eye peeled for IGK Domi's progression up through the field.
Yeah, it's Domi clearly looking very quick at the stage of the session. Let's see what they can do. Up at the front of the order, as you said, sort of starting to gap a bit between all the top 3, which causes what Domi does not want. Domi wants these guys to stay in one big train so that he can sort of just pass them one at a time. But as things stand, it is looking good for Domi to be on the podium, but perhaps not in the win battle. Yeah,
Domi needs about another 5 laps to add to this race to really make an impact. Just 5 laps to go at the end of this one.
It's safe to say we won't have another safety car at this rate.
I should hope not, as we should get a bit of a grandstand finish. But just to remind you, with just 5 laps to go, BDG Gil can become the VRL Season 5 champion if he outscores IGK Domi by 2 points, and so far is on track to do that. And he's also not going to get outscored by more than 6 points. We are looking at Domi. He's going to go down the inside of turn number 1. Nick Mania late on the brakes. Puts him at a more acute angle into turn number 2. Great, solid defence of P7 so far for Nick Mania, but I get the feeling that's going to come to an end as Domi on the soft tyres with the DRS switches back up into P7.
But Nick Mania's going to stay in the fight. They're trying to hang it around the outside, but just nowhere to go. Those soft tyres working so much better at the stage of the race. It'll be interesting to see. Now, the soft tyres are going to be very much in their element until the finish now. The question is whether Domi can use them to the best of their abilities.
Does he have enough time?
Back Kimi under safety car, currently in P10. But I chucked that in there.
Of course.
So, and looking at behind. Also, I think looking at may have been involved in that initial contact. I said there may be some contact on the restart with the soft runs past the mediums, and that's exactly what we had. And that has allowed a couple underdogs. We've got Felix also in the points. He's only got 2 points this season. Can he double that? He doubled his points after last race. Can he double them again into this race?
Looks like Gil is really close. Gil, I'm sure he knows the championship position he's in, but he's a fighter. He's going to want to go for, remember, 5 consecutive race wins at the moment. He's looking to make that 6, and I don't think Gil's going to go down without a fight. Meanwhile, Benjamin just behind is looking for a final podium position down the retro poster. He's going to go down the inside of turn number 4. Benjamin moves his Williams up into P3, and it looks set for a return to the rostrum for the first time since USA 2 rounds ago. I say as if it was a long time, not very long at all. Benjamin turning it up in the final part of the season. Meanwhile, Domi has got past Nick Mania, which we commented on last lap, and he's just behind his other championship rival of Plusionball. He's going to want to get past with maximum efficiency. Can't quite make it work just yet.
It's got something brief that you may be interested in hearing here. Benjamin, 8 seconds of penalties, and the 5 second that is there has not been served. That's not his, it's receiving. So 8 seconds of penalties for Benjamin, which is not on point.
Yeah, that'll drop him back massively. I'm going to keep an eye on Dom. I'm also going to keep an eye on Gil, who's right up Max's chuff as they go down the centre S. Just 3 laps to go, including this one. Seems as if he dropped back a little bit, Gil, maybe saving an attack for the final lap. Could we see a photo finish across the line?
That would definitely be that. I mean, I would be very happy with that. I would accept that definitely. That would make this. That would basically make this race. Like, the only thing we then wouldn't have in this race is the championship contenders battling, which Domi and Plusionball could provide for us, because Gil may be in a position to win the championship, but until the checkered flag falls, the Plusionball and Domi are still in the fight. So technically speaking, 2 championship contenders could end up battling here in this race.
Yeah, Domi though struggling to get past Plusionball there, stuck in that DRS train as I mentioned, and it'll take a big effort from Domi here to get remotely close to Gil. I think that ship may have sailed with that gap between Gil and Benjamin, nearly 3 seconds. But look at Gil. Gil's so close. Is this going to be the move for the 6th consecutive time? Domi not able to do anything about it. Gil moves up into the lead of the race. Max Rowe fought that all the way to the apex of turn number 1, but the Ferrari leads the race. He's looking to extend his VRL record of 6 consecutive race wins. Max though going to try come back around the outside down into turn number 4. Gil takes that inside line. He moves up back ahead of Gil. Of Max, or I should say, sorry. They're still going to be side by side up the hill. Max, can he make it around the outside? This will be an absolutely awesome move. He holds it in around the outside again into turn number 7. He can't quite make it work. Gil leads this race ahead of Max. He's been threatening that move for a couple of laps now, and wow, did he make it stick.
The key now is to Gil is, did they make that move? Did that battle end too late on the lap for Max? For Gil to not get a gap to Max in time for this straight, because they are very close still. And could we see a fight back here? Max has got a bit more ERS, so can play a bit more with it. But we'll have to just wait and see here. Will Max going to use absolutely everything they have, and they will. As they got a big run here towards turn 1. Will they go to inside or the outside? They're going to the inside. Very tight on the inside line there. But Max Rowe takes the lead of the race and takes the lead away from Gil. But Gil is going to fight that one back with everything they have now. Gil going to try and repeat the move, but Max is very clever there, blocks the inside line, and it's going to surely just run Gil out of road on the exit. Yes,
he's round the
exactly
outside. They both go off the track.
Gil, this will surely end in a photo finish now. That I see no other option. Now
let's not forget, this is the final lap. This is the final lap. I've completely skimmed over that, but the final lap between these two, it's going down to the absolute wire. Gil, it's enough for the championship. It's enough. He's ahead of Domi. He's ahead of Plusionball. And right now, it's looking all good for him to become the VRL Season 5 champion. He's got just a few corners left to battle. Is it going to be the win? Is it going to be P2? 5 consecutive wins this season so far for Gil. It is a VRL record. Does he have have enough oomph down the straight to make it 6. He's going to be using all the ERS in the world. He'll have DRS. Max Rowe has led quite a few laps this race. Gill is going to come back in. It's going to be close across the line. Who's going to have it? It's Max on the line by just 1/10 of a second. Max claims his first win in VRL. Gill not able to make it work in that final lap. It was incredible battling between the two of them. They swapped places nip and tuck for the final 3 laps, but it's Max who comes out on top. But the person who's going to take all the spoils this season, BDG Gill, your season 5 VRL F1 champion. He took 5 consecutive wins, 6 wins this season. It wasn't enough for a win today, but what a drive from the Ferrari.
That's just outstanding season. Their run of wins comes to an end, and I must admit, I'm a big fan of sort of records and drivers, going for the big sort of runs of wins. Like, just record breaking is something I love to see, and as much as I would have loved to see 6 consecutive race wins, another new winner is just fantastic to see from Max. And with such a close finish, it is truly amazing. And I can guarantee that Gill may have just won the championship, but I'm sure that they will, after this race, be thinking, what could I have done to beat Max today? They will not stop to sort of celebrate. Of course, I'll be celebrating, but they will not stop trying to improve, which, of course, is what you need to win more and more championships.
Spare a thought as well to IGK Domi, 5th position in the end. Do have to feel sorry for him. Things didn't go his way today. For the last, I say, 3 races, things haven't gone his way, but yeah, I really do hope, and I'm sure everyone else at VRL hopes, that next season he comes back stronger and takes a real championship fight to Gill. But today the championship goes to Gill, but for the first time in a long time, it's not Gill on the top step. Max is the driver to finally overthrow the Frenchman's grasp on VRL as of late. And let's not shy over. We had a Haas on the podium, I believe. That was it was Nick Mania's teammate who did get the. It was Spanias, as the name did just go out of my head briefly there, but just a 1/10 of a second separated the 2 drivers. Max taking the win. Gill, though, what a drive. He might even be disappointed with this after qualifying on pole, only finishing 2nd, but at the end of the day, that's the championship, and he can go into Abu Dhabi in 2 weeks' time with his head held high and with nothing to lose for one final time in VRL Season 5. Spanias does pick up a podium on his debut, steered his way through the carnage, as did Plugenbol there, up in 4th position. Unfortunately, Plugenbol and Domi, 4th and 5th, both drop out of championship contention ahead of the final round in a couple of weeks in Abu Dhabi. Nick Mania did well to finish 6th. Felix scores his best finish of the season, up in 7th. The Alfa Romeo's 7th and 8th. Then it was VRT Benjamin after his penalties, only 9th, and Luke and Nick did just finish ahead of Kimi to finish P10. And what a race that was, Jackson, what a race.
That truly was just an epic race. So
of course, they'll just try and get the drivers in the party now. We'll be hearing hopefully from Gill, hopefully from Max, and from Spanias as well.
Very, very interesting to see and talk with these drivers, see how they're feeling after the race.
And Brazil again serving up a cracking race. What were we on about DRS trains?
Yeah, we clearly don't know what we're talking about, do we?
We'll stick to commentating.
That race, that finishing was an achievement, and all the drivers deserve great results in that race, and
Yes,
very
boys.
exciting.
Max, congratulations, your first win in VRL. Just talk us through how you're feeling right now after, I think, we can all say was a great race from you.
Feel very great, honestly. I beat Gil. That was a long time I didn't do that. I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very happy of this race. A bit of contact at the end, but I think it's still fair. And yeah, I'm very happy of that.
Yeah, your battle at the end had me and Jackson on absolute strings in the commentary booth. You kept it clean. It was certainly on the borderline, but just talk us through what it was like battling with Gil. Obviously, I know that you two get on quite well. What was it like throughout that battle? Obviously, I'm sure you had the win and also Gil's championship in mind as well whilst you were battling, did you?
Honestly, no. I was just focusing on the victory, and I don't think about all the race. So about all the rest. So yeah, I was just keeping the lead for 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 the win, and yeah, I just send it.
Well, congratulations. It was a great race to watch and a really good job from yourself, but a win in your first time in VRL. Hopefully first of many for your sake, and congratulations, Max.
Thank you.
Now we're going to hear from the fifth champion in VRL history. I have to say, Gil, what a drive. It wasn't a win, which is something that you haven't heard in a while. You've got really used to winning here, but the World Championship of VRL. Talk us through how you're feeling after claiming the championship.
That's great because the middle of the season I wasn't there for the fight for the title, but the last races was very good. 5 wins in a row. So yeah, I'm very happy. It was an intense season, and I would like to congratulate Max Rowe for his win. It was a good battle, but yeah, he wanted this win. He really wanted this win. So yes, it was fun. Too many safety cars for me that ruined the race for me. I don't know if the Mercedes went into the wall on purpose, but yeah, 3 safety cars that wasn't. It was too much, too many.
It was certainly carnage, but you both steered your way through the carnage excellently. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Max, Gil, but battling with Max, you were certainly battling very hard, weaving down the pit straight. You're so close to the wall. Did you have the championship in the back of your mind throughout that? You obviously were aware. Me and Plusionball were both behind you, but were you thinking about the championship, or were you just focused on getting the 6th consecutive win of the season?
I wanted my 6 wins in a row. I didn't focus on the championship at all. I wanted to beat him. He wanted to beat me. So it was a harsh battle.
It was a great battle, and Mac coming out on top. But I think, Gil, you can be so happy, so proud of what you've done this season, because it's, we said to Jackson, we've said to the admins, it's something that we never see. 6 or 5 wins in a row is something that is unheard of. So, just a quick summary. How would you summarise your season? How have you felt that your season's gone? And looking into Abu Dhabi, you can just have some fun. You've got no championship, nothing to worry about.
I didn't remember the beginning of the season because I wasn't very motivated on this game. The game was shit at the moment. Always disconnection, always crash, bugs. But after that, I came back. I was even stronger, and yes, at the end I was very competitive. And yeah, it was a very nice season at the end, and I hope it was the same to commentate. And yes, it was a great season.
It was great. I have to say one more time, congratulations, Gil. Congratulations, Max, for your race win today. Jackson, have you got anything to add? Anything to ask the drivers before we round off this stream?
Only things are congratulations to Max on the race and of course congratulations to Gil on winning the championship. Both outstanding performances.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, Jackson, what a race. Brazil again throwing up an absolute cracker, and the championship wrapped up. Both championships wrapped up for Ferrari, and I think the gloves are going to come off next week with nothing to fight for in Abu Dhabi.
I dispatch.
Jackson, anything to add? That was a leading question to you.
Well, of course, that's the thing, is that in the final race of the season, with nothing to fight for, the drivers and us commentators can just focus on the raw racing. We can enjoy just the battles up and down the order wherever it is. It is just, it doesn't mean anything really in the long-term championship, so it just means we can enjoy every moment that little bit more.
Of course, and if it's anything like today's race, I think me and you and all the viewers will be in for a fun time. So make sure you join us in 2 weeks' time for the finale of VRL Season 5 under the lights in Abu Dhabi. Thank you for watching today. Thanks for putting up with the 2 streams after Jackson had his issues with the first one, and hopefully we'll be back a little bit more trouble-free next time. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.